Today will be the third or fourth time we're going to go into a French marina. Anyway, I've been phoning ahead the marinas, asking for berths, and I always have to go, Petit anglais, je ne comprends pas, because my French is awful. So I'm just sitting down, working out a few phrases, making a few things in my notebook. Just worked out, I think I'm asking for a bed for 2 nights, because Kelly talked about, what's that famous song?
Voulez-vous accoucher avec moi ce soir?
Yeah, so coucher is in that song, which means will you go to bed with me? So I don't want to get the mistake of asking the harbour master if he'll go to bed with me for 2 nights. Okay, so we're going to change that for un mouillage. Je voudrais un mouillage pour 2 nuits. Right. A bit nervous, I don't like doing this. Bonjour. Je voudrais un mouillage pour les 2 nuits.
Yes. How long you boat?
You can hear, je suis anglais. Mon bateau est 16 mètres de long.
16, yes. How many drafts?
2.3. 2.3.
You arrived today?
Oui, today. Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Merci. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Oh, did I get that right? It's au revoir? Kelly?
Yeah.
I said merci beaucoup. What's that mean?
Thank you very much.
Yes. And au revoir?
Goodbye.
I was so nervous. But he picked up very quickly that I was English.
The thing is, whenever I try and speak French, I think I do quite a good job of busking it, you know, saying the phrases. But then when they speak back to me in French, then I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
proper.
perfect as them speaking English. I can do that. I can cope with that.
I was somewhere, and the lady behind the desk said, "Would you like me to speak English?" And I said,
that was a museum.
Oh, it was the museum, yeah. I said, could you speak in French, and then I will tell you in English what I think you've said. So she explained to me in French what I did with my tickets, and I kind of picked up roughly. So that to me was also good. So it's like, it's not that we don't want to speak French, it makes us very nervous, and
we're getting better already.
we're getting better already. It's almost like every French person's being able to tutor us as we go along.
Here we go. We're off again. I've got an ambition to sail off the mooring. The engine's running just in case. Okay, Calvin, ready? And slip midship.
Midship slipped.
Okay, slip the bow. That's perfect.
And that was it. We'd left Lézardrieux and headed for Paimpol. It was really interesting. We were in a river, but it was so deep. It was all going so well. The sun was shining, the kids had a game on the go, and then we noticed a big black cloud blowing our way. With little experience, our action was to put a coat on.
Preparation. Just about to come and get us.
Oh, that looks ominous, that black cloud.
Terrible for people outside.
And then all hell broke loose. Our first squall. A mad scramble to get the jib in, which is what we should have done before putting our coats on.
So interesting, the way the weather has just changed. We were quite happily going along. It's lovely and beautiful. We noticed a couple of rain clouds coming, and then all of a sudden we're in again.
I had a problem there when the Porto rail was basically in the water just about at the gate, the lowest point, and I didn't have a way to get back to the cockpit. There's nothing to hold on to at all. I just had to like sort of slide up and sort of shimmy my way in and get my hand on the inside of the door frame. Another problem. My iPad's the repeater for our Raymarine, but as soon as it gets wet you can't use it.
I am bereft. We've lost my brush, my lovely deck brush that was expensive.
You just told me you spent 90 quid on a brush. We can't afford to live like that, Kelly.
This was before when we actually had a job.
You had a job.
Like when I got gigs and stuff.
We can't. 90 quid torch is one thing. What? Yeah, I used that for 3 years. Every day.
Just add it to the list of things we've lost. Overboard.
Also, we haven't got the strength to physically pull the curling line, thing lines, the foresails in.
Today we get the winches back on.
steep learning curve for sure, and a huge list of jobs to do. But first, to navigate through a lock.
After 10 years of living on the inland waterways, we actually have some experience of this, being in a lock, and this is exactly what we had to do. We had to tie on to the ropes and wait as we got lifted up. Is that it?
Well, I just thought it would be higher, but it's because they've got to stop the water pouring out.
I was expecting a bit more drama. No, we have got a bit higher. Yeah, well, that man was not as high as that. Oh no, I'm stood on this. I'm stood on the coach roof.
Here is Hugh trying out his new phrases on the VHF. Although I'm not sure the harbour master could understand him, as he came out in his rib to speak to us direct. In France, it is common to be breasted against another boat. This one was beautiful.
What do you think?
It's cool. This boat looks really big. Yeah, it looks like a really fun boat to live in. It's really good. It looks really cool.
And after such a dramatic passage, we needed to stretch our legs, check in with the office and relax.
We just discovered my French accent wasn't to blame. Our VHF is broken. So that's good news, I think.
Yeah, we're off to have an explore around town.
So French.
And what else was so French was that the restaurants only served crepes and ice cream until 7 p.m. So we had to have our pudding first.
That was one of, I mean, I'm not eating very much today, but that was one of the best things ever made. That was so good. I've never really liked pancakes and like that, but it's so covered in sugar and fruit and syrup and
It was so nice to hear the children gaining confidence in speaking French. And that was the end of another day. The next morning, Kelvin and I started with a bit of Joe Wicks. And then, whilst the kids played, we started with the jobs.
It's nothing like being caught in a squall to make you get some jobs done that you should have done before. We need to make these handrails much more secure.
But there's a screw, and I've hit the screw, so I've trashed the head. So now I've got to find a way to cut it back and probably use some mole grips or something to get it out.
And we need to put these winches back on.
This will allow us to put the jib sail back on, which is smaller and more useful in windy conditions.
Holes found, holes drilled.
Kelvin cleaned the ropes to help them run better.
This is the the rinsing of the rope. I've washed the rope and now I'm rinsing the rope.
These jobs took us all day.
Not happy. Job ended up taking a whole day yesterday, which should have been a few hours. It's still not finished. The epoxy hasn't gone off. I haven't worked a huge amount with epoxy, mainly polyester. I know with polyester it will go off eventually. But I don't know if I didn't mix it properly. I don't know if I got the ratio wrong, which I didn't. I don't know if I got moisture into it because it was a bit damp. It was a bit cold last night. It's just rubbery. It's naff, and I was just sort of testing it, and it ended up coming out. So that is supposed to be a block of epoxy. It's been like Play-Doh. Gotta go again. Just want to not be doing this anymore.
So he tried again, and whilst it set, we went out to explore. Bringing the kids' scooters with us was a great shout. They can travel much further without complaining, and Hugh and I can run along beside them. We ended up at Abbey de Beauport, a preserved medieval monastery and gardens with lots on offer for the kids. On our way back, the fair was open, and then Hugh was able to check in on his Mark II epoxy fix.
You'll all be delighted to know this afternoon's epoxy, as per my test piece here, has gone off. It's good news, finally. I got a message from Ali, who gave me advice before about the epoxy stuff, and he said the rubbery stuff might have gone off eventually. But anyway, that was on for 12 hours overnight. This has been on for a couple of hours now, and it's solid. So here in our beloved Paimpol, before we leave, the final sail's going to go back on, complete our cutter rig, the jib. So debagging it.
Ta-da! Oh look, we've got
a rogue teddy. Right, Kelvin, pressure's on. The three corners are the
top, bottom and underneath.
That's it, yeah. The head, the tack and the clue. That's it, you got it, he's got it. Which one's that?
This is the blue.
So you got the blue edge, which is the UV strip, which protects the
of course it is.
protects it from the sun. And you've also got here, which is this little bead. That's the bit that runs up.
So this is the head.
It's got to be. Booyakasha. Don't tell Kelvin we were wrong. My fault. That's the tack. That's the head. Head, tack. Just make it look manly. There we go. Challenge now is to connect the foot, which is connected by the tack, and make sure there's no twist in the sail. Oh, yeah, no, we're fine.
Famous last words. What's this? Oh dear, down it comes. And there's Hugh looking back up in disbelief.
Absolute wally that I am. I knew that knot wasn't tied properly and I forgot about it and got so excited by getting good camera shots that the halyard for that jib is now dropped and inside the mast. Basically, got it almost to the top and the knot came undone. And I'm feeling like an absolute plonker. So Kelvin and I have reluctantly decided to tie the sail to the rail and put it away for tonight. We've got to get going, otherwise we'll miss this high tide for leaving Paimpol. I'm just like kicking ourselves. It's just like we're running some form of terrible comedy duo. This whole thing is like every episode we just end up back where we started, like a proper comedy act.
But goodbye to our favourite place so far, Paimpol. Anyway, it's our favourite place so far. Now we're off back to where we were a couple of nights ago, because we want to be going in that direction. And it's the closest place, and it's night time, and there's no tidal gate to get in. Any more reasons you want?
It was getting towards night time, so Hugh put the kids to bed.
We're reading Charlotte's Web, the bedtime story.
Chapter 14. Dr. Dorian. The next day was Saturday.
And as always, nothing was straightforward. The sail bag broke and needed securing before we could take the sail down.
Right, this is quite cool. I'm quite excited. We've got the mast for two reasons. One of the spreader lights, which is on the first spreader, so that's only a third of the way up the mast, is come loose, is hanging around on the wires. Either Kelvin or I or Kelly to go up and fix it, but I thought I'd let Eric go and do the inspection. There's also a chance he might fix it because he's quite good at that sort of thing, and it may just be a sort of click into place. And look what I've just worked out how to do. I'm going to send my son at the mast and I can sit on my iPad and watch. That's so cool. How cool is that?
Safety line.
Twisted. Still working.
These have got two lines on it.
He looks down at us.
So let me know if you need any help getting past any obstacles.
It's just literally just completely popped out there.
Is there a screw missing or something like that? Just try pushing it back in and see if it'll click.
Next job, to go and see if the missing halyard was by any chance still peeping out of the hole at the top of the mast.
Up.
Yeah, up.
UP.
And we granted his request to reach the summit.
Are you at the top, Eric?
Just want to stay here for a bit, look at the view. Then I'll come back down.
He was up there for a good half an hour before he let us bring him down. And on to the next adventure, a dinghy ride in search of a beach. More gravel than sandy, but at least they managed to have a quick dip.
Had a really long purse. No, it's two.
I see what you mean though.
With a 10-metre range in tide, the current was pretty strong and I almost overshot the entry. Another lesson learnt. And here, yet more lessons by watching how other boats deal with such a strong current.
It's been quite exciting or interesting for me. We've got 10 metres of tidal range here on springs and on a very narrow river. The water is doing 6 knots easy and everyone's coming in at the end of the day. It's amazing to be some really great skip as well, seeing some people really in control. And that boat there, basically put the brakes on, turn around, straight into the current. And they're back in control now. There's been some slightly hairy entries.
A little wander around town and a play before bed. And as always, the adults' day was not done, as there was a light that needed fixing and a halyard needed retrieving. So Hugh had to put a bit of mousing line inside the mast with a weight on the end. It would drop to the deck and we could attach the halyard and pull it back up through the mast.
What a faff. I'm gutted. I forgot to take the camera up with me when I went all the way up to the next spreader. But I'm still quite high up, so you get to see what I see, which is a very funny teddy. I fixed the light, bit of duct tape. We've got the halyard threaded again, so I've got the jib back on. Nice evening's work. Really, really peaceful here. We've just been chatting to locals, enjoying the weather. It's just completely still. It's lovely. It's Sunday, the end of the week, and we are leaving Lézardrieux. We've had 2 nights here. We had 2 nights here at the beginning of the week, 2 nights now, broken up by a trip to Paimpol. And now the easterly winds are set to set in. So hopefully we can make some headway west over towards Brest and the corner of France. But yeah, they'll probably do that over the course of maybe 3 passages, 2 or 3, maybe 4. We shall see. The whole point of this exercise now is to try and slow down and relax and start enjoying life. And now this bad weather front's passed us by. It should be a bit smoother sailing the next few days, a bit warmer. It's so much nicer to not have the engine on. But we are doing 2 knots, so we shall see, right?
It's my kind of sailing. Nice, calm, peaceful. 3 knots.
3 knots. Basically because the tidal stream's doing 2 of them.
It's beautiful.
Tilly's done something cool. Picture of everything you can see, isn't it, the boat?
Yeah.
Before Hugh went up the mast, we got talking to a lovely couple from Positive Traveller, link in the description. Here they are, going much faster than us. They were motor sailing.
So after a lovely hour in which it was so calm and peaceful coming out of the river that Kelly was able to do her voiceover recording whilst we were sailing, we're now stinking along. The tide's really picking up as we expected it would do as we got into the day, and also the wind's just got enough. It's not a huge amount of wind at all, but because we're getting charged through it with the nice apparent wind and everything, we're stinking along, having a great sail. What Esperant's designed to do. And the kids have got to learn to play on their sides. Tilly's doing a demonstration for you to show you the movement of the boat by using her body. She's hanging pretty much level to the gravity. So that's the angle the boat's at, isn't it? So I'm going to put the camera the same angle as you. Marion, this is Esperance, over.
We are trying to come back closer to you so you can maybe get a picture of us.
Sure.
Marion, this is Esperance. That sounds like a fabulous idea. We'll get you on the GoPro full action shot. Over. Always something to do. The Genoa furler is jammed, so we're going to drop the Genoa on the deck and make it easy because we're going into an anchorage now. But there's hardly any wind, so it should be fairly easy and safe.
Positive Traveller told us all about this most beautiful anchorage. We would never have come here if it wasn't for them. It's so much easier to seize the day whilst on this adventure.
So we're coming up to this anchorage here. We've got the anchor ready to go, but we've been told, some mooring buoys as well. So Kelvin and Kelly are excited. Get some stuff ready to kick off the boat. get some things ready to drop. We've got the iPad.
Big Ted.
We've got Big Ted.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, the winch handle, we can get rid of that. Spare batteries for the GoPro. So generally it's tradition here that if we don't pick up a mooring buoy without losing at least £300 worth of items, it's not been a successful mooring.
So after all the hour of trouble of getting onto the buoy the other night, I come along and just nail it first time. I don't know what all the fuss was about, to be honest.
Off to seize the day some more.
It's the end of another week. It's Sunday evening. The sun is setting over our beautiful anchorage. We are in, wait, where are we? Port Blanc. We've got another 30 miles to get to Roscoff, but we stopped off here overnight. We had a nice time, haven't we, kids? We've been in the sea. Yeah. And I've just watched the video of our trip from Cherbourg, with all the troubles we had with the battery and everything else, through the Alderney race, onto Jersey and then to Brittany. And it's just quite, like, I can't believe how much we did, and that explains why we're so knackered all the time. We're absolutely done in. But yeah, I can't believe how much we achieved. And actually, we've been like getting a bit ratty and a bit grumpy as a whole. Kelvin's been great, he's been putting up with us fabulously, but me and Kelly have been a bit difficult. But we're only 2 weeks in, right? We're adjusting to this new life.
But watching back on that, we've actually had a really good time.
That's what I mean. When you look at it like that, it's like, oh right, that's why we're exhausted.
But we almost need to remember to live it, not just to do it and then look back on it. We need to be in the moment and this mindfulness.
There's a lot we're getting used to though. So yeah, there's a lot we're adjusting to at the minute. Anyway, we're going to sign off the week with a really fun, lovely thing. We're going to watch.
What are we doing, kids? What are we watching?
Back to the Future!
2. We watched Back to the Future 1 a couple of weeks ago with them. So we're going to snuggle up on our sofa, add some cushions and duvets, and have a chill out and watch a movie to finish off the week. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. Tell everyone you know about your friends, because we'd like to get a few more viewers. And yeah, we'll hopefully, if you're enjoying it, Kelly will keep making videos.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you again soon.